Hello my friends, my name is Forge and happy Halloween. So today in this video, I'm going to be releasing a brand new add-on that I've been working on for the past month. And it introduces a brand new structure to your game, which are called graveyards. And if you guys do want to get this add-on, then there will be a link in the description. But for the time being, if you enjoyed this video, then consider subscribing as it helps out quite a bit and shows your support for the channel. Thank you. Now for everything to work properly within your games, you need to go ahead and go to your world options, go down to experiments, and you need to turn on these options. Turn on all of the creative features, upcoming creative features, custom biomes, and modeling features. Then afterwards, go down to behavior packs and make sure you activate this add-on, the spooky graveyards. And make sure you also do the same for resource packs. Then the next step is to go ahead and create the world. Then once you're inside the world, you need to find a root forest, as that's the only biome you can find the graveyards in. And then once you've located your root forest, go ahead and look around for your graveyards, which we have one right over here. So let's go ahead and explore this. So once you find yourself a graveyard, then you're going to notice the new mobs, and there's even a bunch of new blocks. So let's go ahead and talk about the new mobs first. So to begin with, we have ourselves this ghost, which I like to call the ghoster, which is completely see-through, but it also acts like a vindicator. Whenever it spots you, then it's going to attack you with a weapon, which is called the ghost sword. So we go to survival mode, and as you can now see, he is coming to attack us, and he is quite terrifying as well. Now, the ghost sword is not a very powerful weapon. It only does like 3 attack damage, lower than a wooden sword would be, which is 4 attack damage. But for durability wise, it's going to be 120. So while it's not very powerful, the durability is quite good. But if you manage to go and take down one of these coasters, then they have a chance of dropping this weapon. But they can also drop another thing. But also sometimes on occasion, they could drop a phantom membrane. But there's also another mob that can spawn within graveyards. It is going to be the ghost cat. So this special cat, this can only be found in the graveyards. So once you find yourself a graveyard, go ahead and count yourself very lucky. So the ghost cats, they like to fly around the graveyards. But you could also tame them by giving them fish. And once they're tamed, then they're going to be a little bit more transparent. But I'll also like to point out that for the collars, you cannot change this whatsoever. So it can only be a black collar. And you can make the ghost cat stay in place just by interacting. And you're just going to float there. So it's basically just like a regular cat, but only ghostier. I'm not even sure if that's a word. So next up, let's go over all the brand new blocks. Because there is a total of 7 new blocks that you can obtain within the add-on. And they're all gravestone related. And to obtain these, you need to place down a stone cutter. Then go ahead and place down a piece of stone. Then you can make yourself a blank gravestone. Then once you got yourself a blank gravestone into a stone cutter, then you can make the other 7 variants. So to begin with, we have the spire gravestone, the slanted gravestone, the creeper gravestone, the cross gravestone, which is basically the regular gravestone, but with a cross on top. Then there's another variation of the cross gravestone, which kind of resembles a coffin, but then there's also the small cross. But however, there is something else you need to consider when you're breaking these gravestones to take them back home with you. That if you do manage to break them, then they have a chance of spawning in a zombie, or even a skeleton. But sometimes you might also get very lucky and none of them may spawn. There we go, we got our first zombie, then hopefully we can get ourselves a skeleton as well. So as you just saw, he basically just crawls out of the ground and then he comes to get you. That is actually quite terrifying. And we have a skeleton as well. Ow, don't shoot me, get out of here. And plus underneath gravestones, there's also going to be some goodies. So if I break this grass block, then I dig underneath here, then we can find ourselves a barrel. And every time you find one of these graveyards, the loot is going to be different every time. So if I open up this barrel, in this case, we got ourselves a bunch of roots, but we also got ourselves a skeleton skull. So let's give me another easy way to obtain these skulls without ever needing a charged creeper. But I also want to mention that sometimes you may not find any loot. Now I didn't say that this would be the best loot, I just said that you could find loot. But what if you do want to find the best loot? Well, you're going to need to find yourself the new dungeon, which is deep underneath the ground. It is called the Catacombs. Now if you go to the biggest mausoleum, and you go ahead and open up these doors, then you dig underneath these staircases, then you'll find the entrance to the catacombs. Now sometimes these catacombs, they're going to be completely intact, and sometimes they're going to be broken. But this is something that Minecraft Bedrock does. If the structure is too big, then it doesn't always load correctly. It's absolutely annoying. So let's go ahead and look within these chests, and let's see what loot we can get. Now this loot, it is going to be similar to a dungeon's loot, so try to keep that in mind. But we can find things like horse armor, we can even find crops, and we can even find music discs. And that's going to be a common theme throughout this whole catacomb. So let's go ahead and look around for these loot chests. then you might get quite lucky. And plus, the loot is going to be different every time as well. See, this is what I was talking about when I said sometimes it looks correctly, and sometimes it doesn't. But it looks like you can solve the sewers, but you can also find yourself mob spawners. Sometimes you can find a zombie spawner. Sometimes you might find a skeleton spawner. Ooh, we got also going level, that's quite good. But you may also find yourself a ghoster spawner, which is good spawning this ghost I mentioned earlier. But that's basically the Catacombs itself. Just a big place that you can find good goodies in. And there you go, that is the Graveyards add-on. So if you guys do want to get this add-on, then there will be a link in the description. Then I just wanted to put something together just for Halloween that you guys can enjoy. But go ahead and let me know your thoughts up in the comments of what you think of this. I do hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, then please leave a like, subscribe if you're around here. Then don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. But for now, hope you have a happy Halloween, and I'll catch you next time. Goodbye.